Welcome to the weekly feature, Games Too Risky to Bet. I'm Joe Duffy, and along with Troy West of TroyWins.com. Well, we usually discuss games that are too risky to bet. Obviously, over the past couple of weeks, with there being fewer games to choose from, we've kind of deviated a little bit from the format, but even better news for you. Both Troy and I, we will be joining you twice a week to talk about NBA. We're going to be recording segments on Monday and Friday, but in each case, we're going to be taking a look at situations that are going to apply over the next several days. So if you're not already subscribed to Sportsbook Review's YouTube channel, and you certainly should be, but if somehow you're not, subscribe right this very second, and feel free to comment. Well, again, as I said, there's only one game to choose from this weekend, and it's a pretty big game. They call it the Super Bowl. And I know Troy wants to take a look at this game more from a betting standpoint, where in my case, I have a couple of prop bets that I want to look at. Well, Troy West from TroyWins.com, tell me about what you think about this weekend's Super Bowl.
Yeah, Joe, boy, I'll tell you what, when I first saw this line come out, I was blown away. It opened up at New England -6. This thing's all the way down to 4.5, and the total sits at 48. Now, a lot of people, a lot of public money on Philadelphia right now, and if you really dig deep into it, there's some multi-million-dollar bets going in on Philadelphia, not only just on the line getting 4.5, but also on the money line. And to me, when I evaluate this game, Joe, I truly, truly believe that this is a huge, huge overreaction to what we saw last week with Philadelphia at home against the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm not one to like to take a lot of credit away, but let's be honest, that game, all the puzzle pieces fell perfectly into Philadelphia's hands. Yes, they did create some turnovers that proved to give them a little bit more of an edge offensively, shorten the field. And yes, Nick Foles played the best possible game that he could have played. But I'm going to backtrack a little bit. This Philadelphia team, since grabbing Nick Foles, struggled against Oakland at home. They got shut out against Dallas at home. A lot of people may argue and say that game was meaningless, but that was still a game that Nick Foles wanted to perform well going into the playoffs well. Even against Atlanta just a couple of weeks ago, they struggled offensively. And let's be honest, this game on a neutral field in Minnesota, Tom Brady against Nick Foles, Bill Belichick against Doug Peterson. Boy, there's a lot of overreaction right now on Philadelphia. And let's take a look at the total. 48 points, to me, extremely high. This Philadelphia defense we know has been really good throughout the course of the year. I think it's been their strong point ever since Carson Wentz has gone down. And New England's defense, led by Matt Patricia, I think give him 2 weeks to prepare for a quarterback like Nick Foles, who extremely one-dimensional, doesn't move much out of the pocket. And we've seen this Philadelphia team really struggle offensively. We saw them struggle, like I said, against Oakland at home. We saw them struggle against Dallas at home. And we saw them struggle against Atlanta. So many people, majorly overreacting, Joe, to that Minnesota game. I'm not going to give you an official pick, but I would just tell viewers out there, be hesitant and really dig deep into the wide spectrum of this Philadelphia Eagle team, not just what happened last week. Some people say, well, what happened last week? That's going to happen again this week, and Philadelphia's going to win this game. I'd really look at the big picture in this one before making a pick on it. I'll have my picks at my website at TroyWins.com, but I encourage the viewers and the gamblers out there to really take a big, wide look at this one rather than just what happened last week.
Yeah, Troy, and just to maybe even elaborate a little bit more on that, even my offshore sources are saying that it's a result of one big heavy hitter in Las Vegas who is betting on Philadelphia on the money line. Now, he's been described to me as somebody who is known to the Las Vegas Strip operators, but not necessarily somebody who's considered a sharp. So, yeah, this big 1.5-point line move is really one person in Las Vegas who's doing that for sure. Now, as I said, Troy taking a look at the game from a betting standpoint for the full game, I want to take a look at a couple prop bets. And most, if not all of these, will be plays I will release to my premium clients at offshoreinsiders.com, and even some more that I'm going to be looking at before the week's out in some ways where I'm really leaning. I like the Eagles to score first at plus 115 for a couple reasons. Look, Bill Belichick will almost certainly, if he wins the toss, he will elect to, of course, take the kickoff in the second half. the case of Doug Peterson, I think what you're inevitably going to hear on all the pregame shows, there's probably some truth to it. They're going to say, yeah, it's really important for Philadelphia to score first because they're the less experienced team and they don't want to fall behind New England early. So I can see Philadelphia winning the toss and electing to receive. Of course, I like to tell both sides of the argument. I can also see Bill Belichick saying, you know what, I know Philadelphia feels that way, and maybe Belichick will shock the world, win the toss, and actually elect to receive. But I still think more than likely Belichick will certainly elect to take the kickoff in the second half, and I think there's a pretty good chance Philadelphia will elect to take the football if they win it. So Philadelphia to score first at plus 115, I think, is pretty good. Shortest touchdown, under 1.5 yards, minus 130, with pass interference, and certainly Philadelphia with that great 1-2 short yardage punts. I can certainly see that being a very good bet. Under 1.5 yards is the shortest touchdown. The player to give up to get that first touchdown, well, I said Philadelphia, so of course I believe it will be an Eagle. I like Ajayi. He is getting, I think it was about 4-1. Patriots give up 4.6 yards per rush. The team's normally getting 4.1. So I think Philadelphia, if they get the ball deep down in New England territory, they'll try to use that running game. MVP, Nelson Aguilar at plus 4,000. I do think that Philadelphia, look, he hasn't really gelled that much with Foles, but with the 2 weeks, Philadelphia will definitely be trying to get him much more involved in the offense. And I think, if anything, overcompensating. Remember, when you pick long shots like this, it's not necessarily about who you think is definitely going to win, but great value. So I think him at plus 4,000 is outstanding value. Brandon Cooks to score a touchdown at plus 140. He's their deep threat for New England. I think Belichick's going to go deep, try to go for the jugular, take advantage of the fact he's the more experienced team. So I think Brandon Cooks at plus 140 is one of the bets. And then, all in all, I'll probably be looking at a lot of Philadelphia running backs over the total as far as yards, because, as I said, Philadelphia, I think, matches up very well running the ball against New England. So before I make all my final picks at offshoreinsiders.com as far as prop bets, I will probably be, looking very strongly at a couple of the running back situations to go over the total. So again, these are my prop bets that I almost definitely will be releasing on offshoreinsiders.com, and some strong leans. But again, make sure you join Troy and me twice a week now, as we will be previewing NBA starting this Friday and every Friday and Monday from that standpoint on. So subscribe to Sportsbook Review's YouTube channel right now. If by some crazy reason you're not already subscribed, and again, join Troy West at TroyWins.com for his premium picks, and me, Joe Duffy, at OffshoreInsiders.com for my premium picks.
We're starting in 5 minutes, boys.
Okay, thanks, Monma. Really excited for the show today. Hopefully it's going to be a good one. Whoa, look at this. Jimmy the Bag, a message from Gabe Morency. I wonder what this could all be about. Let's take a look at this, Jim.
What's up, Pete? I got good news and I got bad news. Good news is I'm coming to San Jose, Costa Rica. We're going to be kicking it live. It's going to be an awesome betcast, Super Bowl 52. The bad news is if I don't do well on the tables, I might have to borrow a couple of bucks and I might have to sleep on your couch. But either way, we're going to tear it apart, man. Super Bowl 52, live from Costa Rica. See you there, Pete.
Uh-oh, Jimmy the Bag. Gabe Morency is going to be joining us for our Super Bowl podcast. This is scary and exciting at the same time. Jimmy the Bag, what do you think? Are you looking forward to this?
Very much so, man. It's not a party unless Gabe Morency's down here.
You think you can handle hanging? You think you can survive an entire Super Bowl in the same room with Gabe Morency?
Super Bowl day's the only day you're allowed to get day drunk. You're allowed to get all fucked up. It's part of the fucking celebration.
I just had a brainstorm. You know what would be a great idea is if Donnie Rightside came down here too. You think he'd be willing to come down?
Check this shit out. I'm way ahead of you, Pete.
No way.
Hey, Jimmy, I'm in. Send me down there. Costa Rica, let's do it. February 4th, Super Bowl Sunday, live betcast. We'll be there before, during, and after the game, breaking it all down. Let's win some money.
All right, well, looks like we're going to have a full house for the Super Bowl Betcast, the official SBR Super Bowl Betcast. There's going to be Jimmy, me, and Donnie, and Gabe, all powered by BetOnline, and it's going to start at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Super Bowl Sunday, February 4th. Jimmy the Bag, are you psyched?
Psyched, man. Let's get that cash.
Sportsbook Review's Super Bowl Betcast is brought to you by BetOnline.